You rockin' to a Headshots production.
It's something about you, girl, that just makes my head wanna twirl. Oh, you got me want to tell all them other girls there's nothing else better on this world. The moment I seen her, I was in shock. So shocked you would think that I've just been shot. Shot down right down in the spot. But too bad this doesn't happen to lie. Oh, girl, you got me visualizing me on top of your block. What do you want? Was sweating a lot. A time had come before we would have to stop. Too bad she's not into that stuff a lot. Oh man, she's just super hot. All the gas and that's right on top. On top of my head, so many she goes, so I had to stop. Ask some questions that I had in stock. She said she wants to take it slow. I'm not that type of guy, I'll let you know. When I see that red light, all I know is go. So baby girl, and do these on the floor. She said she wants to take it slow. I'm not that type of guy, I'll let you know. When I see that red light, all I know is go. So baby girl, and do these on the floor. Let's get up on the floor. Show me your moves that makes you such a pro. Oh, bro, I'll be the one that I want to know. Oh, yeah, girl, I'ma let you know. You're the one that I'm really into, boo. There's a million one places I can be, but I'd rather be with you. Me and you pretending something that's new, that we only know that's between us two. Oh, girl, you drove me out my mind. Such a did that I'm digging deep in your spine. Did you ever get to hear that I'm claiming your mind? Yeah, that's what's going on this time. I will put my life on the line. My line just to be the one to call you mine. Now I'm picking up the phone just to call your line. Because, baby girl, you're on my mind. She wants to take it slow. I'm not that type of guy, I'll let you know. When I see that red light, all I know is go. So baby girl, and do these on the floor.
Yo, what's going on, family? Welcome to another episode of the Tariq Elite Radio Show, right here live on Ustream, family. Glad to have everybody tuning in. Just taking care of some stuff on my desktop here. How's everybody doing? Let me check in the chat room in 1 second. Let me see what's going on with the family. Y'all bear with me for 1 second, making sure I'm not having any technical glitches or technical difficulties. Glad to have everybody tuning in this beautiful Sunday evening. Hold on 1 second, family. Just making sure I got some stuff on my computer, and I'm getting in the chat room now. Don't forget, man, go to back to the number 2 Black Entertainment. No, is it back to blackempire.com. That's the name of it. Back2blackempire.com. I'm going to be doing a lecture in London, and you guys can get your tickets, all my UK people. I'll be in London March 15th doing a lecture. The name of the facility is called Friends House. Let me read the flyer. The name of the facility is called Friends House in London. Go to back2 blackempire.com, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. Y'all get the Melanoid Nation shirt at melanoidnation.org. Get your Melanoid Nation shirt at melanoidnation.org, ladies and gentlemen. And we bring the hot stories at melanoidnation.org on the regular. What's going on, family? We got a lot of folks in the room so far. We're getting piled up in the room. It's going to be a quick show tonight. Not going to be on here too long. A lot of stuff I want to catch up on television. And plus, I'm leaving town tomorrow, so I got a lot of stuff to take care of. A lot of stuff I want to discuss tonight. Let me get the phone lines going on. Shout out to my man Jason Black of Black Authority. I think his movie did pretty good this weekend. I got to find out some more research on how the movie do this weekend. But I know the movie 7 a.m. came out this weekend. It should be, I guess, on DVD pretty soon, so everybody can get it worldwide. But they had some screenings, and from what I understand, the screenings were pretty successful. And that's a great thing. And what am I looking for? I was looking for something. I forgot what I was looking for. Okay, I know. I'm turning my phone lines up. Hold on one second. Let me turn my phone lines up. But I can't wait to get to London. I got some hot fire I'm going to spit out there in London. The hot fire is going to be heavy. Please discuss Empire. What's up, Tanya Smith? How are you, Tanya? I like the show Empire. It's not a bad show at all. Pretty good show. Because I like Taraji P. Henson. I like Terrence Howard. And I think it's a good show. Now, a lot of stuff they're throwing in some agenda stuff, with the whole gay agenda. And I know that Lee Daniels, one of the co-producers of the show Empire, he put out a statement. I think the statement went out today or yesterday, or yesterday, talking about homophobia in the black community, because in the show, they were pressing that homophobia in the black community narrative. And y'all got to be very careful about these narratives that they're putting on us that's coming from the dominant society. You got to be careful about these narratives that are being pushed on us. I got some crispy episodes coming soon. Don't trip. What's up, River? You going to be in London? Man, London's going to be off the chain. Black girls in Paris. Hey, holla at me, Paris. If y'all in Paris, y'all want me to come through, hey, money talks. You dig? The money talks. It's promoters who are bringing me out to these places. When I go to different countries, usually it's promoters who bring me to these different countries to do lectures, because I don't really know the venues and the facilities out there. So they know the terrain more than I. So, hey, get with your promoters. If you want me to come to your country, I'll be glad to. Like when I came to Amsterdam, all 3 of my lectures were sold out. And I didn't know that many black people were in Amsterdam. Man. So London's going to be the same. London's going to be off the chain. London's going to be fly. And I'm going to spit some real hot fire in London. I can go to Paris. I've not been to Paris before, or just visiting. I don't know when I'm coming to Ohio. I don't know, but I know I'm going to be in Chicago March, when they gave me the date. Let me look at my calendar. I'm going to let y'all know exactly when I'm going to be in Chicago. We're getting all the particulars together. And I'm going to spit some hot fire in Chicago as well. So I got a busy schedule in March. I think I'm going to be in Chicago on March 28th. I think that's the date, March 28th. Saturday, March 28th. And I keep everybody posted on that. But I will be in London. My lecture in London is going to be on Sunday, March 15th. And I'll be in London a few days before that, because I might do some radio, some press stuff out there. So I want to set all that stuff up. The extremists in Paris are turning up. But dude, the extremists here are turning up. The black people are getting shot left and right out here by law enforcement. So how dangerous is Paris from this where we're in now? I do need to get back out to D.C. I absolutely do need to get back out there in D.C. But yeah, Black History Month is coming up, so we're going to do a lot of promotion for Hidden Colors. especially a lot of your local radio stations around the country. We're going to be pushing the Hidden Colors DVDs on a lot of mainstream radio. So you guys look out for that. Yeah, man, a lot of black people are getting arrested for Facebook posts and all that. And that kills me about that whole freedom of speech thing. Because a lot of people are talking about that Charlie Hebdo magazine. And look, I don't advocate anybody getting shot up or whatever. I don't advocate that at all. But people keep throwing out that freedom of speech, freedom of speech, freedom of speech. And, you know, the freedom of speech is really for the dominant society, because when black people start saying shit, we get arrested. Black folks say certain things on Facebook, then they get arrested. See, it's all about how they word things. See, the white supremacists will word things a certain way. If the white supremacists say something in the press or the media that's derogatory towards black people or people of color or Muslims or people because of their religion, they say, oh, that's freedom of speech. Our Constitution allows us to do that. Now, if a black person says something like, man, these cops, man, somebody should get at these cops, they'll say that's a terrorist threat. You dig? So this is the problem with racism, white supremacy we have worldwide. There's a different set of rules based on race. And that is the problem. If you're going to have a different set of rules based on race, you have to be called out for that. And people who are melanoid should be in a position to empower themselves to protect themselves from that. Greg Anthony, that's the was that the dude out there got caught on the track? Yeah, so with us, man, with black people, they've always been able to just reword certain things. That's why I always get on black folks who say stuff like, well, we need to change what we call ourselves. I mean, if you can call yourself something so that your group can identify with something. Just like melanoid. I like to use the term melanoid because that's an all-encompassing term, because that removes borders. But that's not for me to take to the dominant society and say, hey, can you stop treating me bad because I'm melanoid? No. That's to empower other melanoid people. A lot of dudes get this thing, well, we need to call ourselves Hebrew Israelites. We need to call ourselves Moorish Science Temple. And bringing that to the dominant society as if that's going to somehow stop them from practicing white supremacy, you're making a big mistake. Babe, let me get some triple A batteries, some of those small triple A batteries from upstairs.
Pager?
That's for that.
Oh, it looks like a pager.
I know it does. Stop what? Stop reading the post and listen. What are you talking about, bro? James Earl. Oh, so it's somebody else's son. I like the Whitney movie. The Whitney Houston movie. It came out. We saw it last night, and I really enjoyed it. I liked the movie. I saw parts. I haven't seen all of 7 a.m. I saw parts of it. But I like the Whitney Houston movie. Angela Bassett did a great job. The casting was much better. The casting wasn't ridiculous like that damn Aaliyah movie. And the Aaliyah movie was criticized, rightfully so. But this movie, they took their time and they did it right. Thanks, babe. Wait, no, triple A, baby. Triple A.
Was it double A?
Yeah, those double A. That Felicia, that thing about using more, they have no jurisdiction. Bullshit, Felicia. Unfortunately, that's bullshit. I'm sorry to say. But that whole, if we call ourselves more, they won't have jurisdiction over us, that ain't true. That's simply not true. Somebody spill Whitney's tea, but let's be real. And we all knew that Whitney was on the pipe. We knew that. We loved her. We still do. We loved her. But we knew Whitney was on the narcotic. Whitney said she was on the narcotic. So, they didn't spill anything. You dig? But it was a good movie. I liked the movie. The lady, what's her name? Yaya DaCosta, whatever her name is. She's a beautiful sister. I remember her in the movie The Butler. Beautiful sister. That sister's beautiful. Felicia, what video are you talking about? Please don't tell me you're talking about the videos of one or two dudes up in court talking in circles over some traffic tickets with the judges. Oh, basically, those dudes are just talking in circles about traffic tickets. Thank you, dear. Yeah, two.
So, I told her that I have 3 cases that I wanted her to design.
Right.
So, she said for the 5 or for the 6, I said all of them be for the 5 and the 6.
Yeah.
So, she said 3,000 pieces right now. I didn't say anything.
3,000? That's too many.
But she said yes with a question mark, so maybe she's suggesting that?
Yeah, but that's too many. That's just too many.
So, they say too many?
That's too many, yeah. Okay, dude, who's that? Barbecue? Whatever your name is, man. If you ask that question again, I'm gonna ban you, bro. You're not gonna do that. Let's not even go there, brother. That just spamming questions. Let's not do that, brother. You ask some Big L or Papoose, dude. Don't. No, we're not doing the stupid shit. As a matter, I'm just gonna ban you now, brother. I'm not even giving you a chance. Nigga, just copying and pasting the same shit over and over again. We're not having the dumb shit tonight. Said Judge Judy smashed on a Moore a few years ago. What happened? I know cats are always trying to derail the conversation, but yeah, the Morse thing again. You know, what cats are? They love hanging their hat on some bullshit. There's a couple of dudes on YouTube who got some traffic violations, and basically they're just kind of talking in circles with a judge. And the judge is kind of going along with it. And I've seen them run that same shit on other judges, and the judge is like, hey, look, just stop all that nonsense and pay this fine. Yeah, because once you get in court, dude, you're in their court system. Dude, you got a court system that, dude, this is the same court system that let George Zimmerman go. All right, let's just be real. This is the same court system that wouldn't even indict Darren Wilson. Come on, this court system is built on racial bias. The Zimmerman biopic, I haven't heard about that. Yeah, dude, all that more is going to be exempt. Dudes, and I've said this a million times, dudes learn that shit in prison. They get up with some cats who try to tell them that if they claim more, they'll be exempt from certain things. So what happens? Dudes try to use that to get away with doing crimes. That shit is they've already sullied that. And then dudes start, because it sounds deeper than what it is. Dude, well, that my government name, that's my straw man name. Okay, brother. Okay. And that's another thing, man. When dudes start trying to talk and make shit sound extra deeper than what it is instead of breaking it down in simplistic terms, that's bullshit right there. When people deliberately try to talk in terms that are not easily understandable in layman's terms, they're running game. They say Moors were slaves to Arab Berbers. Dude, these are empty terms they're tossing out. These are empty terms they're tossing out. Because the people, Moor, Arab, all that, there were Christian Moors. Moor just meant black. But again, certain people, man, just want to sit up and waste time by talking in circles without really getting up and acting on something. You dig? That's the way to talk in circles without acting on something, without getting up and actually building something. You think, well, I'm going to just change my name and there it is. And that's not, no, you got to really put in work and we got to build. We got to do a change, man. We got to do an overhaul of our whole thinking and our perspective. There were black Arabs too, but that's the thing. There's Moorish, there were bishops and many Christians who were Moor. So that whole Moor means Arab. No, it doesn't. Oh yeah, if you want the shirt, these shirts, man, a lot of folks love the Melanoid Nation shirt. melanoidnation.org. Go get your shirt now. Let people know that you are a melanoid person. Yeah, my thing is this. If you can't show where this shit is working, because I know several people who be rocking them fezzes and locked up. Yeah, we ship international, black girl. We will definitely get you one out there to Paris. Yes, we do ship international. But again, like, what's up, Miss Angel? But that Bobby and Whitney movie, that's what I call it, because it was equally about Bobby Brown and Whitney Houston. I liked it. It was a good movie. It was a good movie.
You know, to the scientist YouTube account, he can watch some YouTube videos.
Okay.
So she said that the problem is for the alien head, they would have to open a plate. So I would have to choose for the alien head to be either for the 5 or the 6, or the other two can be the same case.
Okay.
And then I said, she said, what do you want to be your quantity? And I said 300. She said the total quantity 300, and she put a question mark, and I said yes, and she didn't respond.
Okay. Well, contact some more people. You contact some more companies.
I really thought to talk. Took a long time to talk to her.
Yeah, but still, you gotta holler at different.
Waste of time.
No, that's what you gotta do research. If you want to get a business popping, you gotta. There you go. See notifications. There you go. But yeah, you gotta holler at different companies.
I want the quantity to be like 50.
That's what you gotta holler at different companies. But yeah, man, real heavy stuff. Oh, you saw Claude Anderson in Houston? No, I was talking to my daughter. My daughter wants to start a business. She's 15. See, I get my kids started early. So she wants to start a business. And I'm just giving her some ideas. And she's doing some research. She's thinking about starting a company where she sells iPhone cases, teenage stuff. So, I told her, whatever you're into, let's try to monetize that. If you like iPhone cases, design iPhone cases and sell those. So she's looking at different manufacturers and she's just doing research. I'm letting her do the research, so she don't depend on me to do the research for her. So you got to start your kids early. You dig? You start your children early on how to. Yeah, absolutely. You got to start your children early on how to become entrepreneurs. That's where I am with mine right now. With the black youth, not only my own children, but other black youths, I'm pressing the narrative of economic empowerment, entrepreneurship. That's what our children need to be listening to now, because what they're doing now, they're on that civil rights kick. And for Black History Month, this is why, again, get your Melanoid Nation shirts. But again, I want people to really promote Hidden Colors 3 and all the Hidden Colors films. I really want people to get out there and promote it, not just for the company, but just to get the message out there so that we don't keep falling for those same civil rights traps that the dominant society is setting up. You see, the dominant society, they are the ones who keep pushing the civil rights narrative. Just keep marching and turning the other cheek and praying and marching and praying, and everything is going to get better. And that's not what we need to be hearing. That's not what the youth, we don't need to give that bullshit to another generation. Again, there's a show coming on talking about those who paved the way. And they got a whole bunch of civil rights people from the 60s. I don't know what they're going to be talking about. And I talked about this on my last show, but what the hell did they pave? If we're going to be real honest, man. Yeah, they're using the Selma thing. And Selma was a good movie. I like Selma. I liked it greatly. It was a great directed movie. It was a good movie. Montague, you late as hell. This nigga said, have I seen the show Power? Montague, when did you get out of jail, dude? That's a fresh out of jail question. You know, we've talked about Power so much on this show. Brother, you just got out. That's what's up, Need More Science. Man, y'all notice, man. You notice they don't never do a movie about no Marcus Garvey. They do movies about everybody except Marcus Garvey or people like Marcus Garvey. And Marcus Garvey, he was a grassroots brother. Marcus Garvey had millions of followers without the help of the mainstream media of the time. They're not going to promote that because Marcus Garvey promoted black independence, black power, black economic self-reliance. They're not going to promote that. They act like Marcus Garvey never existed. As a matter of fact, you know, they in televisions and documentaries from the mainstream, they never even mentioned Marcus Garvey. You understand? So you, Tanya, you asked your granny to define civil rights, she kick you out the house. Hilarious. I was disappointed to see they were bootlegging it at the show the other night. He was like, okay. Yeah, that's going to happen, man. You know, that it is what it is. You know, we just, you know, we try to thwart it as much as possible. But that's why we have the Kickstarter campaigns. That's the main reason why we got to keep having, whenever I do the Hidden Colors film, you know, we gotta have the Kickstarter campaign to kind of balance everything off. Because the thing is, there's just a sector of the community that's going to bootleg the film. And unfortunately, that's about 50% of the profits. But again, this is why we have to have campaigns to get the movies made. So we got to work with what we work with because, again, we have to understand in our community, we got a lot of people who will sabotage. And also, you got to understand this. You got some people in the dominant society who's also behind some of this bootlegging too. You know, I had a conversation with, not Claude Anderson, but with Neely Fuller. Had a private conversation with Neely Fuller a couple of days ago. Shout out to brother Neely Fuller. Shout out to Neely Fuller. I would love to interview Neely Fuller on the show, but the thing is, Neely Fuller is under contract with Talktainment Radio, so he can't do internet radio show interviews based on the contract that he has with them. He can do terrestrial radio shows, but Neely Fuller, he can't, under, I guess, some kind of agreement he has with them, he can't do internet radio shows besides Talktainment. And I wish I could have recorded. Me and him we had like over an hour long conversation. And when I say this brother was spitting some damn hot fire, we were chopping it up and he was just man, I wish y'all could hear the conversation me and Neely had, bro. We were getting it in, bro. And he was saying, like, with some of his books, there were people bootlegging his books. You know, he was talking about great elder, man. And he was saying how, you know, he's trying to sell his books and he was selling it through different, you know, distributors or whatever. And then found out that some people were selling fraudulent bootleg copies of his books. So he kind of had to pull back and now he's only selling them on his website. And he was saying that he suspects some white supremacists might be behind some of that too, based on some of the evidence that he has seen with his books being bootlegged. Yeah, they'll do that. They'll do that. They'll bootleg your books. They'll bootleg your books. Y'all, if you can't see me, refresh your screen. If you cannot see me, refresh your screen. Oh man, yeah. When they start bootlegging books, the white supremacists are behind that shit. The white supremacists are behind that. My screen looks dark. You know, my screen looks dark because I got on a white shirt. Put some light on myself. Okay, now this light is in my damn face. No, he's not going to be in Hidden Colors 4. But yeah, people will bootleg your books. But yeah, we had a very deep conversation. We were chopping up some real game. I got it on auto. What are you talking about? No Crispy Show tonight. You got to go to the Crispy Show on YouTube to look at the old episodes. And Neely Fuller doesn't do interviews on video. That's why you don't ever see any video of him. So Neely Fuller, he doesn't really do video interviews. He doesn't do on-camera interviews. That's why you don't see no camera footage of Neely Fuller. Say, can a black man date a white woman and still be conscious? I think you can. I think you can. It's possible. I even think a black woman can date a white guy and be conscious to a certain degree. If he's conscious, if the white guy's conscious and down to stop white supremacy. But it's rare. You know, it's really rare. But yeah, it's possible. But the thing is, a lot of times when you are laying up, if you have a significant other who's another race or whatever, subconsciously you want to protect that person. And you don't want to challenge that person's or the white supremacists within that person's community. You don't want to challenge that. Yeah, Gus T. Renegade is deep. And Neely Fuller don't even do Gus T. Renegade show no more because, again, he's down with this Talktainment Radio, so he has to do interviews with them. Have I dated white women? I've smashed. I've never had a white girlfriend before. Yeah, I've never had a white girl like, hey, that's my lady, I'm humming. I never had that before, but I've smashed. You know, I've smashed all white, Chinese, Mexican, Puerto Rican, I've done the rainbow. I've smashed the rainbow. Yeah, I like Tim Wise. Tim Wise is the truth. You have a white woman choosing and she sent you Hidden Colors. Yeah, she's down for you. She's down for the crown. Yeah, that is kind of restrictive. You know, my man can't do. You know, I guess I don't know. I guess they wanted him to, you know, stay exclusive to them. I don't know. When you stayed in Seattle, they were traumatized by white supremacy. Yeah, I know about Frederick Douglass. Yeah, I talked about Lee Daniels earlier. Yeah, Bobby, I don't care about dudes. That's another thing, man. Y'all don't have to. When people start hitting me up, telling me about certain coons' business, I really don't give a shit. And normally I block you because I assume you're trolling. Because at this point, if you really seriously give a shit about known coons and you're sitting up here reporting stuff about known coons that nobody really takes seriously, either you're real stupid or you're trolling. And normally I just block you. Because normally, 9 times out of 10, you're trolling. Because usually it's people from some fake bullshit Twitter account who's telling me about some insignificant coon that I don't give a damn about. So either you're him trying to promote himself or get some kind of beef going, or you're just ridiculously lame for following a known coon. So I'm just letting y'all know, if y'all start hitting me up, giving me random information about some a known coon who's insignificant, whose career has already been destroyed and reduced to ashes, giving me unsolicited information about an insignificant coon, I'm just going to assume you're trolling, because I really don't give a shit. And on Melanoid Nation, we put up a story talking about this Bonnie and Clyde couple. Go to melanoidnation.org to read about the story. I'm going to talk about it now. There's this couple, this white teenage couple. Dalton Hayes, I think that's his name, and the girl's name is Cheyenne something. They're from Kentucky. They're these little hillbilly-looking teens from Kentucky. They went on a crime spree across several states in the South. They were stealing cars, crashing cars, cashing fake checks. I mean, all types of felonies. And the way the media has portrayed these people, the guy is 18, the girl is 13. And this just goes to further prove how white supremacy works. They've been portraying these criminals. Where's Aki? Aki in here? What's up, Aki? What's up? Yeah, a lot of people in here talking about dumb shit, I see. A lot of people in here talking about some dumb shit. And the Black Man 456 looks like I'm going to have to go ahead and get to blocking. Hold on one second. As a matter of fact, let me do this. I just made Miss Aki the moderator. Now, Aki, if you see some fuckery in here, can you please ban people, ma'am? I just made Aki the moderator. I just let Aki mod the room. So, Aki, if you see some fuckery in here, go ahead and let these people see the door. But like I was saying, I was talking about the Bonnie and Clyde couple. And again, look at those little cute terms they give these people. Now, when we, black people, even if you're not suspected of a crime, when you get killed by cops, you're a thug who deserved it. Even if your parents are in the house, you got your mom and dad, but you're still a thug. When Jordan Davis got shot by Michael Dunn, they called that the thug music trial. Remember that? They used these, Michael Dunn shot this kid in cold blood. Jordan Davis wasn't a criminal at all. They're throwing that thug thing out. They rarely referred to him as a teenager. Tamir Rice, the young man in Ohio who was killed. Well, I won't even say young man. He was a 12-year-old kid. I'm getting my people mixed up. But he's a 12-year-old kid. He got killed. They kept referring to him as a young man and saying that he was acting like a thug with his gun and all that stuff. Even when you're not committing a crime, you get called thug. And we all know that thug is a code word for black. See, the white supremacists are very good at talking in codes. They love throwing out code words. That's part of the religion. Mike Brown, he was a thug who deserved to get shot. Antonio Martin, he was a thug who deserved to get shot. We're all thugs who deserve to get shot. Real Melanin, I'm gonna personally get you out of here. There you go. I personally ban your ass. Real Melanin, there you go. I just got you out of here. There you go. So with this Bonnie and Clyde couple, they will not refer to them as thugs. Not only will they not refer to them in any derogatory names, they're romanticizing these criminals. They are romanticizing them. They're calling them sweethearts, brazen teens. They will not refer to the man as an adult. They won't call him a man. They keep calling him a teen, a juvenile. They keep reiterating the fact that he's a teen, juvenile, teen, juvenile. Notice, this is the key thing that people are overlooking. His so-called sweetheart is underage. Now, he's a grown man. Legally, he's a pedophile. They will not refer to his girlfriend, sweetheart, as a victim. If it was a black dude, 18 years old, and there were cases like this. There was a dude, I think they were talking about him on one of those Oprah shows where I think he had turned 18, but he had sex with like a 15 or 16-year-old. Then they labeled him as a child molester. Y'all remember that case? And I'm kind of paraphrasing the case. I know that the dude was 18. He was had a football scholarship or whatever. And he turned 18, and I think he had sex with a 15 or 16-year-old. And then they just labeled him a pedophile and put him in jail.
Dad.
Yes.
So I looked at basically everybody is the minimum is 1,000.
Okay, I talked about that upstairs when I get upstairs. I talked about it when I get upstairs. Oh, yeah. The girl was white. Oh, yeah, the girl was white. Yeah, the girl was white. Man, they threw that brother under the damn jail. Oh, he got oral sex from a 16-year-old? It was something like that, right? I knew it was something like that because the dude had just turned 18. So he was all types of pedophile. And the girl wasn't even that, I knew the girl wasn't even that young, as younger than him. That's what I mean. She wasn't that much younger than him. Why do so many white supremacists follow me on Twitter? Well, that's what they do. They follow certain people to what they do. They follow me to learn talking points. I'll get on that in a minute. But black kid had sex. He's 18 years old, had sex with a girl who was like 16. Didn't commit a crime, but he was all types of pedophiles. He went to jail, lost his scholarship, the whole thing. He was an honor student. They threw him under the jail. This dude, 18 years old, going across several states with a 13-year-old. Now, they can't make the argument, well, in this state, it's legal. No, one of them damn states, at least a few of them states that he went in, it's illegal to have sexual relations with a damn 13-year-old if you're a grown-ass man. You dig? And they will not refer to this dude as a pedophile. They will not refer to the girl as a victim. If it was a 13-year-old girl and the dude was black and 18, it would have been his 13-year-old victim. They would have all types of federal kidnapping charges, dude. They would have kidnapping. First of all, if it was black, because people are already talking about the hypocrisy there. First of all, if this was a black dude, 18 years old, he wouldn't have made it out the first state, first of all. It wouldn't have been a multi-state crime spree. First, let's just keep that shit in perspective. He wouldn't have been able to get out of the state of Kentucky. They would have set up all types of roadblocks, Amber Alerts, helicopters, all the feds. They would have done the Chris Dorner job on his ass. When Chris Dorner, y'all know out here in LA, when Chris Dorner, a black dude, went on a shooting spree, they had this bitch locked down. Nigga, when Chris Dorner out here was wanted for murder, they had, who lives in LA? Nigga, they had this whole city shut down over one brother. Nigga, they had helicopters all over this city looking for one dude. This whole city was hot, looking for one dude. If you in LA, you know what I'm talking about. Nigga, they had drones. There were helicopters all over my house, all over LA, dude. Yeah, that was the black cop, the black former guy, black former cop, yeah. Dude, anybody who, they were shooting people who didn't even look like Chris Dorner. They were shooting people whose names was Chris. Dude, the cops were shooting random people over Chris Dorner. They were shooting white folks who had a tan. Dude, the block was hot out here over that one dude. They weren't about to let him get out the state. It wasn't going to be no multi-state crime spree. They didn't let him get out. Fuck the state. They didn't let him get out the city. They had all types of resources in shutting that dude down. But they let the cute little sweethearts, Bonnie and Clyde couple, go from state to state in stolen cars. One of the cars they stole had guns, so they were armed. So you had an armed kidnapper, pedophile, going from state to state, committing felonies. And they sitting up here talking about their sweethearts. And then y'all wonder, the dominant society wonders why people out here protesting and marching, talking about white supremacy. And where are the coons? Where are all the coons? Oh, shit, forget about it. Assata Shakur, Assata Shakur, they got a black woman who did allegedly, they said did a crime 30-something years ago. They're still trying to get at her. They got Assata Shakur on a terrorist list. They didn't give Assata a cute name. Assata Shakur is on is like one of the 10 most wanted terrorists. But Bonnie and Clyde, the two lovers, were just brazen teens. They didn't mean no harm. Fuck out of here. Oh yeah, Cuba said, yeah, we ain't touching her. But yeah, they make examples out of us. With us, it's so extra with us. Again, they use a totally different language with us based on race. That's how white supremacy works. Stop, black folks, get off that. It ain't about race. It is about race. They use a different narrative with us because it's about white supremacy, and that's what white supremacy is. It's about white privilege and giving people who are classified as white a pass. It's two justice systems that we have that's based on race. That's why we need melanoid empowerment. With us, dude, we don't get the cute names. We do not get called sweethearts. I ain't never seen a black criminal suspect called a damn sweetheart. The two lovers, the kidnapping pedophile, but he's a lover. That's not his victim. She's 13 and he's 18 and he's taking a minor having sexual relations across several state lines, but that's his sweetheart. The fuck out of here. But it ain't about race. But they want to complain when we say Black Lives Matter. So black people, when you complain and point out systematic white supremacy, you are on the money. Continue to do it and continue to create a system of economic empowerment so that the system of white supremacy will have a minimal effect on you. Even during the Depression, y'all got to remember, man, because people talk about black folks and crime. When there's crime in certain black areas, the white supremacists will say, well, it's culture. They will totally negate the fact that all black crime, for the most part, is based on economic deprivation. It's all economic. Black crimes are economic. And crime in general, basically, for the most part, is economic. During the Great Depression, when there was an economic crash in this country, there was a white crime spree. In the white community, there was a lot of white criminals. Bonnie and Clyde, people keep talking about Bonnie and Clyde, but Bonnie and Clyde, they came about in the Great Depression, and there were a whole bunch of people like Bonnie and Clyde. Machine Gun Kelly, John Dillinger, Babyface Nelson, Pretty Boy Floyd, all of these Great Depression criminals are romanticized by the dominant society. Black criminals are not romanticized. It's like, well, these Negroes, there's something in their DNA that makes them that way. You dig? And that's how white supremacy works. We get judged by a different set of rules based on race. Ma Barker, of course. But again, man, we got to look at this hypocrisy, and black people stop being in the dark or pretending to be in the dark about how systematic white supremacy works. Yeah, I am going to do that. Post a number of books on melanoidnation.org. What's up? Who's calling?
Hello, Tariq.
Hey, what's up? Who's calling?
Hello, my name is Brian. I'm calling from El Paso, Texas.
Hey, Brian, how you doing? What's on your mind, brother?
Well, I was just following your show, and when you were on the point of how white criminals get romanticized, that is very true. Pretty much, I just finished the season of Boardwalk Empire, and I was reminded how Al Capone was pretty much made an American hero back during his heyday.
Yeah.
And this guy owned cops, this guy owned judges, this guy was killing people like it was free, and in the eyes of the average dude, he was a hero.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But Spike Lee has to fight like hell to get Malcolm X made. I don't know if you heard about that. He had to beg, borrow, and steal in order to get the funds to make that movie.
Yeah, he had to borrow money from a whole bunch of people, like Michael Jordan, Oprah, everybody. Yeah.
Exactly. And just doesn't make any. Well, it makes sense because that's white supremacy for you. But I just wanted to bring that point up. It's
real talk. Man, thank you for the call, brother. Yeah, but that's the thing, man. The white supremacists, they support each other, and they support each other economically. And this is why I always say white supremacy is not about, and most of these protests that we see, we should stop allowing them to make the whole narrative about police brutality. Because that's another mistake that we make. We let the dominant society and the white supremacists in the dominant society create the narrative. We let them create the narrative. And they'll say, well, we need to protest police brutality. And this is not about police brutality. These black people getting killed is not about police brutality. Because the police know who to brutalize and who not to brutalize. They know who to brutalize and not to brutalize. They know not to brutalize the cute little sweethearts who's going around committing crimes from state to state. They know not to brutalize them. I knew they weren't going to get killed. As a matter of fact, let's put some money up. How long do y'all think they're going to make a movie about these two? This couple that got caught committing all these crimes. How soon do y'all think the Lifetime movie is gonna come out? I'm calling it now. They're gonna put a movie out about these two. They're putting out a movie about these two. I can almost guarantee it. They're gonna have a TV movie about their ass. They're gonna have a Lifetime play. They're gonna have a Lifetime movie about them. But the good news is, if it's on Lifetime, Lifetime will miscast the movie, so they'll get Morris Chestnut to play the dude, and then they'll get Taraji P. Henson to play the girl, or they'll get the little black girl from Annie to play the girl. They'll miscast the movie. They'll get Morris Chestnut and the girl from Annie as his 13-year-old lover. They'll miscast the shit out of it, so it works out. I gotta see what's up with that American Sniper movie. Speaking of Annie, speaking of white supremacy, who is this? What's this? Peanut, you going to get food, baby? Because I'm hungry as hell. What'd y'all order?
Pizza, the Italian food place.
Oh, y'all order chicken pizza for me?
Well, no.
No.
Because you do the show a long time.
What the hell am I supposed to eat? Ain't that some shit?
How are we supposed to know when you're going to end the show?
I gotta eat something.
But it's going to be cold by the time you're done.
I could have ate some pizza while I'm chopping up game with the family, with my YouTube family, with my Ustream family. God, damn. Shit, so I gotta eat a pot pie in this one right now?
Yeah, everything changed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I have change? I don't have any change in
You tell me.
here. Does the pizza guy is he here?
No, you want me to get you anything?
Yeah. Did you call him already?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Give me a thin, crispy. You know what I like.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. My bad. Yeah, I'm hungry as hell. What's up, Ola? Shout out to Ola. You know what's funny in the Whitney? There's something funny happened in the Whitney movie last night. I know that some people might have missed it because sometimes it's hard to cast children. And they had in the movie, Whitney gave birth to Bobby Christina, and in one scene, they had a kid playing Bobby Christina, and the kid was damn near jet black. I'm like, damn, Bobby Christina wasn't that black. And then in another scene, I guess as Bobby Christina got a couple of years older, they had some light-skinned ass baby playing. I'm like, okay. I'm like, who's light-skinned baby looking like Vanessa Williams? Okay. The casting director didn't catch that? Go look at that movie. Did you see that, Brenda? I'm like, okay. They could at least match the skin tone. Okay, I know it's kind of hard to cast children in movies. Yeah, that baby was light as hell. I'm like, this baby been using cocoa butter? Man. So it's real funny sometimes with black movies, it's hard to cast children sometimes. That's why a lot of times people, when they get movies, they cast twins or whatever. And DC Cook, I'll get your question in a minute. But the worst casting of a kid, I talked about this before. There was a movie on BET called I Do, I Did. I think that's the name of it. Y'all remember that movie? It was one of those low-budget BET movies. And I think the movie was called I Do, I Did. I think that's the city had vitiligo. But the movie, it was a real quirky. The movie was like cheesy, but it was like kind of, it was kind of bad, funny. It was so bad, it was funny. And the girl somebody had a baby in the movie, and it was supposed to be a newborn. And this baby looked so damn old. I'm like, somebody got real lazy with the casting. Yeah, the baby looked old as hell. It's supposed to be a newborn, and the baby's sitting up in the crib with a sipping cup, holding his own head up like... This was an old ass baby. Like, that ain't no newborn. How this baby holding his own head up? Said the baby had Social Security. This baby looked like it was already potty trained and shit. Man. Man. But again, I like the movie. But again, this is why, man, we got to get our own shit popping. We gotta empower ourselves. We really got to get our own thing popping. So the baby had a remote in his hand. Man. Let's see who we got on the phone. What's up? Who's calling?
Hey, what's going on, Tariq? It's Pierre from Atlanta, man.
Hey, man, how you doing, fam? What's on your mind?
Yeah, man, I'm doing good, man. Just kind of wanted to get your feedback, man, on the whole, how they had the whole Boko Haram thing versus the Charlie Hebdo thing. It seemed like, you know, they were just like focusing on this whole thing with France, but with all the people that died in Nigeria, they didn't really talk about it at all.
Right.
Man, that was crazy, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you for the call, man. And that's very true with Boko Haram. They anything that happens to Africa, man, unless it's going to fit their agenda, they don't really talk about it. And again, these Boko Haram organizations, these are Western-funded organizations, man. So we got to keep that in mind. But again, like I was talking earlier about that Charlie Hebdo magazine, which is very racist. That's a racist-ass publication, by the way. And the white supremacists, they try to be real slick and real deceptive. And I was talking to Neely Fuller about this, how the white supremacists will literally say anything to be deceptive. Anything it takes to be deceptive, the white supremacists will do it. He said, so anything they say, man, you take with a grain of salt, the white supremacists. Because if you see that they're white supremacists, and if you've confirmed that they're white supremacists or suspected white supremacists, man, everything out of their mouth has to be questioned. And some people, some of the trolls were hitting me up on Twitter talking about, well, that magazine, it's not racist. It makes fun and it makes a mockery of racism. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. That's a con game that the white supremacists like to use. Talking about they put a black woman on the cover as a damn monkey because they're trying to make fun of racism. That's not how you make fun of racism. That's just game. You're just being racist. You're just being white supremacist. You're not making fun of the racists by depicting black people as monkeys and welfare mothers and all that old shit. You're just being another white supremacist organization that's running a con game. That's all you're doing is running a con game. That ain't nothing but drag. What's up? Who's calling? Hello? All right, let's see who else we got on the phone. What's up? Who's calling? Yo.
Oh, hi, Terry.
Hey, who's this?
It's Cynthia.
Hey, Cynthia, where are you calling from?
Austin, Texas.
Okay, what's on your mind, Cynthia?
Yeah, about the whole Paris incident, I feel like it's a tragedy what happened, but the fact that, you know, white people globally feel that they can do anything they want, and those, you know, radicals were like, fuck y'all, we finna kill everybody for making fun. I feel like they're willing to die for what they believe in, and you can't put a religious figure as a caricature that millions believe in. Right. So I don't feel bad that those people lost their lives in the sense that they were making fun of another religion, because, you know, Islam and Muslims, they believe in that shit hardcore. And I don't feel that. I feel like this is a lesson for other journalists and magazine publications to take note. Like, you can't do whatever the hell you want as white folks and think that there's no consequences. Yeah. So I was riding with those radical Muslims. I'm like, fuck, they willing to die for what they believe in.
Yeah, and that's why a lot of people, these heads of states, all got together and started locking arms to show basically a solidified front for white supremacy, as far as I'm concerned, because they are not, all these world leaders are not locking arms for all the black people over here who are getting unjustly killed on a regular basis. So my thing, I don't like people trying to run the game both ways. Whenever people in the dominant society, when they get hurt or harmed or killed, we're supposed to walk around with candles and all this stuff. But when we get hurt or killed, especially our children, we get told that somehow we deserve it and we weren't good parents, and we have a culture that allows and deserves that type of behavior. So again, man, karma is a bitch sometimes, and it's real. But thank you.
I'm glad they're scared shit over there in Paris. Good.
Man, but thank you for the call, sister.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Man, you dig? But my thing is this. You know, I don't want to see anybody get hurt. That's not my thing. I don't want to see anybody get hurt. You know, I do have humanity. I don't want to see nobody get hurt. But the thing is, don't expect me to defer to your pain when you haven't deferred to mine. When we have black children getting slaughtered in the streets over here, and then people in the dominant society, they get slaughtered, all of a sudden don't start running to me trying to tell me to take the moral high ground and how we should light candles and all that when black lives are not being given the same respect. So it can't go halfway. It has to go both ways. What's up? Who's calling?
Hey, what's good with you, Tariq? How you feeling tonight?
I'm good, nigga, if you stop whispering. We're going to have to cut that whispering down. You sound real sultry, brother. You better...
No, I'm whispering because I'm at work. So I gotta be careful.
Okay, where you work at, brother? You a spy, nigga? Who you, Inspector Gadget? What's going on, brother?
Nah, I work at a mental health facility, and everybody sleeps, so I can't be loud.
Okay, so you don't want one of the people with mental illnesses to wake up in
Man, you ain't lying. Like, for real. For
wake
real.
up.
But,
What's your name again, bro? What's your name again?
My name is Anthony.
Anthony, okay. Somebody gonna start yelling out,
Anthony
on the phone! Anthony on the phone! They gonna start telling on your ass. Well, you got a mentally ill. Wait, Anthony, you got a mentally ill snitch that's gonna be telling on your ass. Human resources. Anthony was off. Anthony wasn't doing his job.
Man, you better stop.
Let me stop.
Hey, look, I can't stay on long, but I just posted this on your Tariq Elite fan page. There's a fertility clinic in Ghana that's promoting black couples to get inseminated and have half-caste babies.
I heard about that.
Better world for Africa.
I heard about that, man. I kind of thought that was a joke. Is that shit real?
Man, I don't know, man. I really hope it's not, but this shit is getting real serious, man.
I'm on somebody said you lying on the pillow with your legs up. My man is at work. But I'm gonna look into that because I thought that I saw that Anthony. I saw that story and I'm like, this is just no way that can be real, man. But I'm gonna look into it because hey, you never know, man. With shit that's happening now, you never know what's going on.
Yeah, man, they just trying to kill us from the inside out, man.
Absolutely. All right, man. Let me let you get back to work, man, before they start snitching. Anthony! Get off the phone!
All right, man. You have a good night.
I'm doing it on my thumb. All right, man.
All right, fool.
Anthony gonna get fired. Let me stop. I'm sorry. I don't want nobody, some of our handy capable brothers to call up. That's fucked up what you ain't doing, Tariq. Mental illness is nothing to play with. All right, brother, my bad. I don't want nobody screaming on me. Somebody coming to my lecture mad. I got a question. Remember that teacher you had there about mentally ill people? I'm fucking you up when we get outside. And I get my ass whooped. Them handicapped motherfuckers got strength. They'll beat the brakes off you. Somebody, motherfucker done took some MMA classes. I walk outside my lecture, motherfucker jump off the top of a roof on my ass, give me an elbow. Niggas like, shit. You want the more? Do you want the more this? Punk jump up to get beat down. All right, let me chill. All right, let me stop. Let's see who else is on the phone. All right, what's up? Who's calling? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, what's up? Who is this?
Yeah, this is out of Houston.
What's your name, brother?
Kevin out of Houston.
Kevin out of Houston. How you doing, Kevin?
Not much, Flex, man. I just had a quick question for you. I'd like to know if you had seen the Global Awards, man, how they was getting on Cosby, man. That was pretty messed
Oh,
up.
man, dude. You know, that was so disrespectful, dude. You know what? Do you know Bill Cosby saved NBC back in the 80s?
Mm-hmm.
Bill Cosby literally saved not just NBC, but the sitcom genre with the Cosby Show, because sitcoms were pretty much out of style. In the 80s, you had shows like Dukes of Hazzard, The A-Team, Knight Rider. You had shows like that. So sitcoms, really in the early 80s to mid-80s, they were kind of dead at that point.
Yes,
So
sir.
Cosby came back with the Cosby Show and brought the family situation comedy back into the forefront. And he, not only did the Cosby Show bring in great ratings, but that show saved the show Cheers, because Cheers wasn't shit at first. Cosby led that show in. It brought in Cheers, led it in. That Family Matters, what's that show with Family Tie, whatever that show with Michael J. Fox, helped make him a star. So Cosby saved NBC. So for them to come out and on NBC and disrespect the dude like that just shows, man, how white supremacy is a bitch, man. You can't carve out a little niche for yourself and think that the white supremacists are just going to ride with you, man. You can't trust the white supremacists, man. They'll turn on you even after you save them. So we got to start saving ourselves. I thought that was very disrespectful, the way they made those little cornball-ass jokes about him on NBC. Because they don't, you notice, you don't never hear none of these Woody Allen jokes on none of these award shows. I have yet to hear a Woody Allen joke. They don't say shit about Woody Allen's little pedophile ass or Roman Polanski. I don't hear no Roman Polanski jokes either, ever, on none of these award shows. You feel me? So, hey, man, melanoid empowerment, brother. Thanks for the call. Melanoid empowerment. I ain't never heard a Roman Polanski joke from none of these people on these award shows. I ain't heard one. Or that Seventh Heaven guy. Real talk, Aki. I haven't heard them make no jokes about him. And his show is still on the air. Seventh Heaven is back on the air, by the way. All the Cosby reruns are off the air. They took all the Cosby reruns off the air. Seventh Heaven is on the air. And this dude is an admitted pedophile, the guy who was on Seventh Heaven. So, man, it's funny style shit going on, man. What's up? Who's calling?
Hey, Flex, what's up? This is Jason out of Brooklyn, man. How you doing?
I'm good, Jason. How you doing, fam? What's on your mind?
Oh, man. Yeah, a few weeks ago I wanted to call in because I wanted to touch on the whole thing with the police shootings here in Brooklyn. I'm out here in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, not too far from where those happened.
Yeah.
And on CNN they were talking about how where those cops got shot was a high crime area, which was a load of bullshit.
Oh.
Because right down the block from there are big high-rise condos, big health food stores that sell all the organic stuff to cater to the white people moving into this neighborhood. It's gentrified like a motherfucker.
I could imagine.
Yes, exactly. So the projects are right across the street from where it happened, but crime in the projects pretty much stays isolated within the borders and fences of the projects.
Oh, yeah.
So to call that area high crime area is really just a ploy to really get all the black folks out of that neighborhood.
Absolutely.
To make people think that something's going on around there that really isn't. That's all.
Real
so
talk.
I don't want people to get it twisted.
Much respect. Thanks for the call, man. And that's real talk what my man is saying up in New York. See, they keep saying shit like high crime this and high crime that. That's a way to get black folks out of the way, because what's happening in New York and a lot of other places, gentrification is at a full-time swing right now. Brooklyn, Harlem, you got all of these hipsters in these places. And see, black folks, you think some of these hipsters on the surface are real cool. The hipsters, they'll go to the little rap concerts here or there. They'll bump their little hip hop. They go jogging. They walk their dogs. They'll go drink coffee and play the guitar at the park, because these hipsters are young. But white supremacy is a chess game. They think 10 steps ahead. So pretty soon, when these hipsters, they're going to start having kids. Feel me? when these hipsters start having children, they're going to put these children in schools. They ain't putting them in schools with y'all asses. Do you understand that? They already know. The hipsters, they are not sending their children to those black schools with y'all. They're not. So they're getting rid of you now. So by the time they're ready to put their children in school, y'all are going to be gone. Y'all are going to be out of there. That's the name of the game. They're already starting. This is a chess game. They are not about to send their children to these so-called black schools at all. They're playing chess. It's all about the end game, dude. And y'all got people out there marching with you. That's another thing, man. Oh, yeah. Corey Feldman. Oh, yeah, I talked about that. Let's see who's calling. I gotta eat my pizza in a minute. What's up? Who's calling?
Hey, what's going on? This is Nicholas from Compton.
Nicholas from Compton. What's going on in the CPT, man?
Not too much, man. Just hanging in there. I was just following up with one of the callers that said something about the whole Boko Haram situation.
Yeah.
On CNN, they asked a general of the army basically the same question about it, and he just flat out said, Black West Africa is not a priority.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that makes me think about what's going on in the U.S. So if they ain't trying to go and help them out there, which I don't care if they do. I mean, not like that, but, you know, and what am I trying to say? Because not that we need their help, but it basically says what's going on out here. They don't care about us out here, so why would we expect them to care about what's going on in West Africa as far as black people?
Real talk. All right, man, brother, you in the shower or something? It sounds real echoey in there, man. You on the toilet or something? You sound naked. You all right?
No, I ain't naked. I'm in the bathroom, but yes, I'm in the bathroom, sir.
Okay, brother. All right, man. All right. Brother, all right. You in Compton. Is this you and your gang right here, brother? Hold on. Let me play this video.
No.
Martin Luther King got shot on the balcony. Mike Brown got shot in the streets down the house from me. I advocate for dead souls raised up. It's a crime when you get shot putting your hands up. Don't shoot. Don't shoot the messenger. With so much proof they stressing us, we should just study Martin Luther. He left a blueprint to spark the future. It starts with students willing to learn for the peace and willing to keep cameras when they heard him in the streets, willing to stand up, never too nervous to speak. And remember, the mind is the turner of the key to revolution. Solutions to the murders in the streets will eventually win if we learn from these defeats. Turn the light of your dreams. The only way to stop this nightmare is with a dream. Rise again. Rise again.
Oh, man. My man had a Casio keyboard playing. My man. My nigga had on a J. Crew shirt. Man. I like the show Empire. The show Empire is good. I like the show Empire. I like the show Empire. The show Empire is good. Turn my heater up. I got that one from Ola. Shout out to Ola for sending me that one. I died when I saw that shit. Man. Dude, but yeah, y'all don't get fooled by them hipsters out there. Hey, what's up? Who's calling?
Hey, what's up? This is Corey from Detroit.
Hey, Corey, how you doing, fam?
What's up, man? Chilling.
Good. What's on your mind?
I wanted to know, what do you think the advantages or disadvantages could be to having a white man as a front for a company, or just a white person in general?
Oh, well, you know what? They did that in Tulsa, Oklahoma. They would some of the black people would hire white people as fronts for certain companies, and you know, a lot of times they would hide the fact that they were black in certain instances in order to do business with the dominant society. And there are a lot of black business people who have done that before. They would hide the fact that they're black and kind of set up a corporation. Because you don't necessarily have to have a white person, but you can even set up a corporation and operate with the corporation. It just depends on what type of business you're trying to run. For example, what kind of business you're trying to get going?
I was thinking about transportation.
Okay. Like what? Uber cab? What kind of transportation?
It'd be more like logistics.
Okay.
So that's dealing, it's dealing with first you start off within a certain area and then you spread out if it becomes successful.
Okay, but yeah, you can get a front, but a business like that, you can do it yourself. You can hire white people to work for you, to drive for you if you want to do that, but you don't have to have a white front person for you because you can kind of represent yourself. Or you can have I would see no need to have a white person to front you as far as that.
No, I'm talking about as far as marketing.
As far as marketing it, oh, okay. Yeah, if you want to market it and have white people drive for you, just hire people. You don't have to have them fronted for you. Hire you some white drivers, and you running the show behind the scenes. You understand?
Okay.
Yeah, that's what you do. You don't have to have no business partner. Find you somebody who has a clean driving record. Give them a couple of dollars to drive for you. You still be the boss and just have them work for you. You feel me?
Right.
As a matter of fact, I might have to hook you up with the brother who works at the mental health facility, so y'all can drive some of those people around, brother. Wait a minute. Hello? I need you to pick me up at the mental health facility. I need you to pick me up at the mental health facility. All right, man. Thanks for
Thank you, man. All right, thanks, bro.
This nigga is late. Hello? I called you 45 minutes ago. Y'all late, he going off. This why I don't like fucking with, excuse me. This why I don't like fucking with niggas. Y'all always late. I could have done my wheelchair, got there faster than this. Handicapped people going off on you. Oh, man. I know, I'm going to hell. Let me stop. I shouldn't. He said, why is it called logistics? It's called truck driving. Oh, man. And speaking of, you know what? We were talking last week about those, some of those Ferguson protest groups and all these so-called protest groups getting money from certain places and where they getting their money from, because on a grassroots level, ain't nobody really fucking with a lot of these so-called Ferguson leaders and all that stuff and protest groups. On a grassroots level, people ain't really fucking with them. But all of a sudden, they got money to go overseas and do photo ops and all that, these fake protesters. Sure enough, we found out that these people, from what we know now, they're getting funded by, what's that billionaire's name? George Soros. George Soros, the billionaire, is funding some of these groups. George Soros, he's funding some of these groups, some of these Ferguson groups and all these groups. What's that group? Dream Defenders, all that. Some of the people he funded are connected with Dream Defenders. So there you go right there. There were several articles that came out this week talking about how George Soros has funded a lot of these protest groups. So this, and let me tell you why. Because we've already known. I've talked to some of these protest groups and I've dealt with some of them, and you can tell that somebody else was pulling the strings. Because these so-called protest groups, the reason why they're getting funded by those in the dominant society is because they want the narrative to go a certain way. They want to pick their own people, their own Negroes, put them in the forefront and put a lot of money behind them, so that the narrative can be confused. So they can put a bunch of people out there to complain about police brutality. You got it? They put all these black folks that just keep talking about police brutality, don't have a real agenda, come up with slogans, Because that's all they do is come up with slogans. They ain't really coming up with no agenda. And also, never, ever, ever have them talk about black empowerment at all. So if you're running around just talking about don't hands up, don't shoot, I matter, if that's all you're doing and you're taking photos here and you ain't talking about no real solution and you talking about police brutality, and you ain't talking about systematic white supremacy, you're being bought and paid for. And the proof is there. The proof is there. They're handpicking these Negroes and funding, putting money behind them, putting them out there, giving them press releases and photo ops and flying them all over the place. So that's why the narrative is always on that bullshit. And they fund these so-called black feminist groups as well. That's why their narrative is always on something divisive and something that doesn't empower or something that doesn't have a real tangible agenda. They fund these people to basically cause confusion. They fund these people to cause confusion and never talk about empowerment. Because the thing is, if they keep putting their people in the forefront, a real grassroots movement will get pushed in the back. See, they keep telling you who the leaders are. Hey, that person is the leader. This group right here, this is the group right here, yeah. These guys, we're going to put them on CNN because they're the guys. We're going to put them all on the news. They're the guys. We're going to do all the photo ops with these people. They're the ones you need to follow. That's a red flag right there. That's a red flag right there. And when they got little suspected white supremacists all mixed in with these little groups, that's another red flag. And I told y'all about some of these groups. They got these little suspected white supremacists making their little slick comments. We got to clean the closet with all that bullshit, man. If we out here talking about protesting and we ain't talking about black economic empowerment, we out here bullshitting. Real talk, Bill Mason. Real talk, Bill Mason. They got a bunch of misinformation dealers who ain't talking about shit. These people are being bought and funded and paid for by the dominant society. They ain't nothing but pawns, man. So again, let's not fall for the okie doke. We got to stay focused. We got to stay focused, man. Yes, they are all in line with these hipsters. And I was talking to Neely Fuller about that. Neely was, man, I wish I could have brought y'all that interview. Well, it wasn't an interview. I wish I could have recorded the conversation. It wasn't really an interview. It was just a conversation. But, the game was hot. He was saying, basically, he was like, yeah. Because we're talking about, like, some of these, a lot of these protests. You got a lot of white people mixed in the protests. And Neely was like, yeah. But in a couple of months, all these black people marching with white people in New York and Ferguson. In a couple of months, these black people are still going to be complaining about no jobs. They're still going to be complaining about lack of school funding. When these white people get tired of marching with them and they go home, things are going to go right back to normal. Black inferiority, white supremacy is going to go right back to normal. You dig? See, we get into this whole fad thing. The shit becomes a fad. And all fads, after a while, they get tired and then they go on about their business. See, when the fad is over, we still got to deal with the brunt of white supremacy. During the 1960s, in Hollywood, it was hip and it was a fad for white people in Hollywood to rub elbows with Black Panthers. Yeah, people like Jane Fonda, Marlon Brando, all these white people were down with the Black Panthers in Hollywood. They called it radical chic. It was chic to be down with these black militants. Judge Joe Brown just recently did an interview talking about, because he was like considered a radical back in those days, and how they would invite the radicals in all the Hollywood parties, places like the Playboy Mansion, where they would invite Bill Cosby. See the game? They would invite all these black comedians and black radicals to the Playboy Mansion and all that old shit, and rub elbows and get to fondle the white women and all that old bullshit. And when the fad was over, the Panthers started getting shot up. Everything went back to normal. Black people were back on the bottom. 40 years later, these same people up in the Playboy Mansion getting fondled and fucked, which is what they go to the Playboy Mansion for. Now, 40 years later, oops, Bill Cosby drugged me. I know I'm at the Playboy Mansion where there's orgies all around, but I got drugged at an orgy. And the black guy did it. You see? See the game there? The Playboy Mansion is known for orgies, but you got drugged at an orgy. Somebody had to drug you and fuck you at an orgy. Okay. Over and over again, too. Okay, because that kills me when the ones be talking about they got drugged over and over. You got drugged and fucked over and over again. Okay. Because everybody was at the Playboy Mansion reading Bible studies. They were doing Bible studies at the Playboy Mansion. Come on. The Playboy Mansion is all about honorable, respectable behavior. You went to an orgy and got drugged by Bill. Bill Cosby took advantage of you at an orgy. I was 15 at the Playboy Mansion. So if you're 15 at a Playboy Mansion, how come Hugh Hefner is not being investigated? Oops. Am I making too much? I'm making too much sense, huh? Okay. If you're 15 at the Playboy Mansion, why isn't Hugh Hefner being investigated? Okay. I'm just throwing some shit out there. Maybe I'm overthinking shit, okay? You see, we always, when something happened, we always get thrown under the bus. Hefner ain't dead. His old ass is still up here. Am I sounding too much like right? Is it right? Okay. See, the white supremacists always find a way to not get charged with shit. I mean, think about that. If Cosby allegedly fondled somebody and raped them while they were underage at the Playboy Mansion, why isn't the people at the Playboy Mansion, meaning Hugh Hefner, why isn't he being investigated just like Cosby for even having a 15-year-old girl at the Playboy Mansion in an orgy? Because that's all they have up there when they have those parties. Just like Roman Polanski ass, Hollywood keep giving him a pass for his pedophilia. Those parties where they be raping those kids. See, just like, man, when they get rappers and put them in jail on conspiracy charges and use their lyrics and all of that and give them conspiracy charges. That goes back to like the 90s when they were putting record labels up on conspiracy charges for indecency and all this stuff, and people were getting arrested, like Ice-T and all the rappers and Luther Campbell. All these people were getting arrested, but none of their distributors were getting arrested. The people who were the big major distributors, none of them got arrested on conspiracy and indecent charges for putting the stuff out. How does that work? How in the hell does that work? All the rappers and all that shit, they get charged, and the guys in the front of the label, like the Luther Campbells and the Ice-T, all these people, they get arrested, but the people distributing the indecent material, they don't get arrested too. So we got to understand the game that's being played here. Anyway, y'all, let me get up here. I think my pizza is upstairs, man. It's been real. Ladies and gentlemen, I told you it's going to be a real quick show tonight because I got to pack. I got to go. I'm going out of the country and everything. I got business to attend to, but we're going to have Tariq Radio going on tonight. Y'all don't go nowhere. It's a lot of people in here. Follow me on Twitter at Tariq Nasheed. Go to HiddenColorsFilm.com. Everybody right now, get Hidden Colors 1, 2, and 3 at HiddenColorsFilm.com. Go to TariqElite.com to get that fresh fly gear. Y'all hold tight for about 10 seconds. We're going to stop the show and then restart with music. I'ma holla.